My library has more than 4 computers. I gotta be honest.
Turns out Congress can only look at the files between 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on weekdays. And they have to give the DOJ 24 hours notice before they look at them. And only members of Congress are allowed to look at the files and log in and read them.
What is the average age of a member of Congress? It's like 87, 88, something like that. They don't know how to use computers.
What is the one thing that's making matters even worse once they've accessed the files?
Is it that they're scratch and sniff?
It's because the DOJ is tracking which members of Congress looked at the files, and they're tracking which files they looked at.
We have learned from this photo that the searches that members of Congress are performing are apparently being tracked and then read by the Department of Justice, by the Attorney General.
If you look at the photo from inside Bondi's binder, you can see she literally has a list of everything that Representative Jayapal searched. One congressperson even watched what she was doing as it happened.
I'd like to see is look to the Jared Moskowitz section of the binder. I'm interested to see what staff provided on the Oppo, and because we're in the Olympics, great. I just want to see how.
It's funny about mocking the Bible and holding up a Trump Bible. That's what you did.
That's the best.
You made a joke, and I find it offensive. That's all I have to say.
I want it from the burn book.
Shame.
I want it from the burn book, which is the best one. What you got?
Maryland Rep. Jamie Raskin didn't think there was anything fun about Pam speaking.
It is a violation of the separation of powers for them to essentially be monitoring our computer searches on the Epstein file. So I think it's outrageous that they would do that, and it's Orwellian, and we're going to have some more to say about it soon.
I mean, Mike Johnson and his son monitor each other's porn usage, so this seems fine.
Bondi continued to blow up throughout her testimony, and what was the most damning moment that made me Bondi during this hearing?
When she was finally honest and was like, look, I love to protect pedophiles. It's what I was hired to do, and I'm going to do it. And I'm going to fight anyone who says I can't. Do you remember that part?
I was split between that and the Olympics, so I must have missed.
There was a moment where all the survivors, about a dozen of them, stood up, right? And they all looked at Pam Bondi, and Pam Bondi didn't look at them once. That moment right there, I think, ends her tenure as Attorney General.
Points for Aaron. Why would anyone ever expect Pam Bondi to make a statement against assault?
She made a big show right at the beginning of the administration. We're gonna get out these files, and she gave it to a bunch of right-wing influencers, and she was making a whole big deal of it.
The reason why it's so shocking that Pam Bondi is against defending victims of assault is because she said she would in 2014 during this campaign ad.
Florida ranked third nationally in calling for help with human trafficking, where young women and children are enslaved and abused. I'll fight to put human trafficking monsters where they belong, behind bars.
Pam Bondi, our Attorney General. That's our Attorney General you're booing. I'll put human traffickers behind bars. By bars, I mean little black bars on sheets of paper.
Bars are slimming.
They are.
Yeah, that's what they told me when they put me in jail the first time.
Here's Pam saying what we should be talking about instead.
The Dow is over $50,000. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about. What does the Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just asked. Are you kidding?
The stock was at 50,000.
The market did fall below 50,000 after she finished testifying. So
You were at that hearing, right?
I was right outside. They didn't let me in.
Did you speak to the survivors?
Yeah.
And what can you share about what they said at the hearing?
they're horrified, right? They're horrified. It's not just Pam Bondi. It's been 5 administrations. It's been several departments of justice. They just want justice. And instead, they get their own witness statements that they told the FBI, and it's all blacked out. They can't even see their own documents, right? So they're horrified.
Bondi wasn't the only Trump administration official to testify about Epstein this week. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick answered questions about his relationship with the apex pedophile before a congressional committee this week. What did Howard have to say about his association with Epstein?
It was nothing. What are you talking about it? It barely knows the guy. Yes, they spent a lot of time.
Here's what.
I did have lunch with him as I was on a boat going across on a family vacation. My wife was with me, as were my 4 children and nannies. I had another couple they were there as well with their children, and we had lunch on the island. That is true, for an hour, and we left with all of my children.
He knows how bad it is because he felt the need to say that he left with his children. If I go to a friend's house for lunch with my kids and I'm telling somebody about it, I then don't say, and my children left too.
Who's actually facing consequences for their connections? Epstein being in the files.
The royal, formerly known as Prince, that's one of them.
Oh, when you say Prince, you got to put Andrew right behind that immediately. Right. The black people know. You don't just go formerly known as Prince. You're like, no.
There's a bunch of Brits, I feel like, they're in a lot of trouble.
Oh, you got the ambassador, Mendelsohn. You got the Sultan from Dubai, who has just resigned today.
Hey, Sultan can resign?
Well, I think his first name's Sultan.
Oh, okay.
That's right, baby. Get up.
And then there's Elon Musk. Who's Elon Musk been coming for this week?
It's Steve Bannon.
That sounds so right, Aaron. I want to trade teams.
Yeah. It is Steve Bannon. Despite being mentioned in the files himself, Elon's been tweeting about human use next blog, Steve Bannon. Bannon's all over the files. He and Jeffrey Epstein have a selfie together, and in 2019, the same year Epstein went to jail for the last time, Bannon texted Epstein an offer to rebuild his image by producing a documentary about what a grateful man he is. Yes, the name of that documentary? Now, Pam Bondi might not be interested in what Epstein's victims have to say, but some of those victims sat down to receive news just after the murder.
So there's the crimes of Jeffrey Epstein, and then there's the crimes of the cover-up. And she's part of that continuing cover-up. So she didn't apologize for that.
So like, oh, they feared her, and I'm like, yes, you're the main character in this.
It's a circus act. Yeah, he was a comedian for those. Yeah, everyone was laughing at him. Can you believe they did the best they could?
Do they not know that Dow is at 50,000?
Michael and Scott, watch the clip. Tell me what's the story.
All right. Bitcoins have had fake money and fake people. And that's a flag of a...
Puerto Rico?
No, I don't think so, but good guess.
Is that the flag of Puerto Rico?
No.
Oh, that's Trump's tie.
Yes.
Okay.
So we've got...
Is Bitcoin the same as Doge? I don't know much about finance.
Right. Or,
Yeah.
or apparently anything.
No,
And this has something to do with Trump's...
AI. It's AI.
All right, we're going to go with AI.
The story is Trump got elected a second time, looked around at all the people who wanted something from him, and he hit him with that famous line from Jerry Maguire.
I didn't shoplift the pootie.
It's supposed to be show me the money. According to the New York Times, Donald Trump has made $1,408,500,000 off of this presidency. What has been Trump's biggest moneymaker since he became...
Morse Mutual. How can I be of service?
Movie. Nope. Is it his Bitcoin?
Yeah, it's just crypto.
I think we can handle that.
Instead of real dollars that are in your pocket, they Bitcoin is imaginary money. It's on the internet. You can't really see it at a lot of places, nor does it do a lot of stuff, but it is real.
You told it's about a bunch of gold bars somewhere.
Well, are we getting into a conversation about financial architecture right now?
Yes.
In Sumerian times, people just...
So, according to the New York Times, since taking office, the Trumps have made at least $867 million through various cryptocurrencies. 2024, while Trump was between presidencies and on trial for all the crimes and all of that stuff, a lot of banks didn't want to do business with the Trumps. So Don Jr. and Eric went around to all the banks and they started a company called World Liberty Financial. Did that with a friend of theirs, Zach Wickoff. That's Zach, seen here celebrating Black History Month. Eric and Don Jr. basically formed this dollar peg stable coin called USD1. We all know what a stable coin is. Of course, Michael, why would you?
A stable coin is a cryptocurrency that holds horses.
Exactly.
The difference between a stable coin and other forms of crypto is that the stable coin is tied to an actual currency, so it's more likely to hold its value and not see as many peaks and valleys. So Trump's World Liberty Financial essentially gets a cut of every sale involving their coin, and they get a cut of the interest. So here's a fun multiple choice question. Which nefarious sounding global player has a huge stake in Trump-run World Liberty Financial?
Secretariat.
Is it Sheikh Tanoon bin Zayed Al Nahyan, aka the Spy Sheikh? Boris Rusnikov, aka the KG Beats? Or Toshi Yamamoto?
Number one.
Oh, number one.
No, Trump would never get involved with somebody from the UAE called the Spy Sheikh. That would not happen.
It was okay because he got involved 4 days before he took office, so he wasn't president.
Oh, when did the Spy happen?
That was the
Yeah, it's Sheikh Tanoon bin Zayed Al Nahyan, aka the Spy Sheikh. Seen here right after he took out his last Invisalign trade. He's a member of the royal family of Arabia and oversees a $1.3 trillion empire, making him one of the most powerful single investors in the world. And here's what went down.
Just days before Trump's second inauguration, the Journal reports 49%, nearly half of the Trump family crypto company, World Liberty Financial, was purchased for $500 million by Sheikh Tanoon bin Zayed Al Nahyan, sometimes referred to as the Spy Sheikh. The Journal reported the Trump family earned an upfront payment of an estimated $187 million in the deal, with another $31 million reportedly going to the family of Trump's Middle East envoy, Steve Witkoff.
Spy Sheikh invest a bunch of money in the Trump situation. What do you think he got in return for that investment?
AI. Thank you.
Months later, the Trump administration approved something the Sheikh and others have been waging long coveting, the sale of hundreds of thousands of cutting-edge American artificial intelligence chips to that country. A group of previous administration law or the same technology could be sold or smuggled to China.
I don't think he's going to be a spy ship with it. Oh, no, it's not wrong with that. His name is ironic.
The $1.4 billion Trump has made off his presidency isn't all crypto. He still spent his second term and probably run it the old-fashioned way.
My new Trump fragrances are here. I've named them Fight because they represent winning. You all want to be winning. You have to win as a nation. You want to win as a family. Get yourself a bottle and don't forget to grab one for your loved ones too. They'll thank you and they'll even smell good.
Hey, don't forget to subscribe to the Gta5 YouTube channel and be sure to click the bell to stay on top of all our great content. Even better, become a member for exclusive content, early access videos, members-only shoutouts, and more. Click the join button below.
news for you. I'm Roy Wood Jr. In the news this week, Westminster Dog Show winner addresses the media.
I'm glad he acknowledges that I'm a good boy. I am a good boy.
Andrew Cuomo addresses why he'll never do today.
I did not do enough on social media.
State Jr. unveils new measles policy. On NBC tonight, he's the stand-up comedian, podcaster, and actor whose 2025 YouTube comedy special is called Thief of Joy, and he recently instituted a rally for Zohar Mamdani, so I'm hoping he can give me a bus for free. It's John Marco, so and Bernie Michael, he's an acclaimed journalist and Russia expert whose new book, Motherland, comes out on October 21st. Let's hope it doesn't land her inside.
What do you need, boss? Some wheels? I can bring them round. I'll bring it to you.
TurboTax. And file your own taxes free in the app if you didn't file with us last year. Just file with TurboTax Do It Yourself by February 28th. Download now.
All right, let's get to it. The biggest stories of the week. John Marco, Cameron, watch the video and tell me what you saw.
Pentagon, we all know that shape.
Gta5?
Journalists.
Yeah.
Asking the question. A mass exodus. The journalists refused to sign a thing.
And journalists from across the whole spectrum, centrist, far right, the whole media landscape.
I know you know I'm talking Cameron. What was the thing?
So the thing they wouldn't sign, now that's complicated.
Yes, the story is Pete Hegseth stands for serious journalism.
No, fix that.
Check the Today Show and everybody was Matt Lauer. So, does anyone know why Pentagon wants the press to sign this decree?
Because Pete Hegseth is obsessed with leaks. It reminds me of the military censorship that Putin instituted in March of 2022.
Don't talk about like that.
Love it, yeah.
Yes, one reason for the new policy for the journalists to sign off to cover the Pentagon might have something to do with the leaks.
Time and time again, classified information is leaked or peddled for political purposes to try to make the president look bad. Is he including the leaks that he started when he was on the...
I'm on the clock. What you want? Some wheels?
Oh, that was a different leak. That's my leak. I'm talking about y'all leak. Not only was Fox News amongst the groups that decided to walk out,
I'll bring it by.
even Newsmax refused to agree. Newsmax. According to the Associated Press, the new rules would ban journalists from large areas of the Pentagon without an escort.
Hey there.
It's giving
What can I help you with?
to vote press
I can do it briefly.
even ask for any information that he hasn't okayed for release. This is horrible.
Now, they don't allow journalists in, but they allow escorts in? I don't like that. Does it count if he gave consent for you to publish it, but then he sobers up and takes it back?
He's explaining the issue to Trump.
You can't just roam anywhere you want. He used to be Vice President. The press can go anywhere, pretty much anywhere in the Pentagon. In the world.
It's not true. I mean, you'd be shocked to know it's not true.
Wait, can you not? Can you roam around the Pentagon?
You can't roam around the Pentagon. There are many areas you can't go as a civilian and as a journalist.
I thought the place with the most classified documents was Mar-a-Lago.
You roam around there.
Unless you're an escort.
What up, y'all? I can check out box and open some packs.
You never opened a pack, like looking for yourself?
Never opened a pack.
Okay, let's see if we can Chad Johnson.
Keep it away from your house. Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, that's so bro.
That's crazy to say.
Chip it, and it will show up like 5 or 6 minutes. But because we're here, we got it right here.
Thank you, Box, for the experience. I had a great time. Make sure y'all go check it out. Got the car here. Hey, tap in.
Hawaiian fries.
It's spicy tomato. One reason why people might be wanting access to the Pentagon is getting all the shopping in the restaurants that are in the building. Now, I did not know this. In addition to the CVS that's in the Pentagon, there's also an AT&T, a jeweler, a florist, a drive-ins. The Pentagon is also home to a McDonald's, a Five Guys, a Taco Bell, Subway, Panera, Popeyes, Potbelly, Pan Express, Jamba Juice, Starbucks, a Dunkin' with a Baskin Robbins, and a Dunkin' without a Baskin Robbins. That's why the generals are fat.
So one Planet Fitness in that homes.
It's not in the Pentagon as a place I don't want to go. That shit sounds great.
Anyone like to guess which chain restaurant a government website says is opening soon at the Pentagon? Oh, it's missing some stuff.
They're missing a Chick-fil-A.
They're missing a Chipotle?
That's a little too ethnic.
It's Chick-fil-A. It's
Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A.
Answer, it's Planet Hollywood.
What?
No, what? No, disrespect. Planet Hollywood was shit in 92. Like an Applebee's, but Richard Schwarzenegger and Stallone.
This one's going to be all Ronald Reagan. That's it.
But most reporters, they're ready to give all of that up in the name of journalism principle, with the exception of one outlet. Does anyone know the only U.S. TV news outlet that agreed to access?
Isn't a channel called I Can't Believe It's Not Fox?
It's the One America Network, which is a real thing, apparently.
It is OAN, the One American News Network. So far, they are the only U.S. TV news outlet to agree to the Pentagon's new policy. And if you know OAN, you know they're always out front asking hard-hitting questions.
OAN. Very good. Thank you very much.
Term Chinese food racist
No.
because it's food that originates in China.
Journalism. Why the secrecy on all of this? Why do you all think that they're trying to keep everything under wraps?
We're about to invade Venezuela. Do they not want people to know about that? Because, shit, I know about it.
They are good with keeping secrets. At all. I know too much. You know how hard information has to work to get here? I know everything, and I don't want to. You know what? I'm for this.
One thing that they're not bothering to explain, the government that is, they're not bothering to explain the recent bombings of boats in the Caribbean Sea. Points on both sides for that. There are the Venezuelan strikes that Trump keeps posting videos of to social media, claiming that the boats were carrying drugs.
Why would they shoot a boat in the water with no proof? Why wouldn't you just wait till it got here and be like, hey, are there any drugs? Yes, there are. I see them. Hey, you don't go to jail. We make money off your ass in jail. We don't make any money off you when you're at the bottom of the sea.
So you look at this and go, how can we make more money off this?
Trump is actually going even harder on the issue. Trump confirmed that he's authorized covert CIA action in Venezuela, saying, quote, we are certainly looking at land now because we've got the sea very well under control.
I'm not familiar with covert ops as well as maybe I should be. Do you typically announce when you're starting?
The Venezuelans don't watch our channels.
Right.
You gotta go, hey, shit's about to get covert.
Venezuelan President Maduro is trying to play ball. He even offered America a huge piece of his country's resources. Question, what did Trump say to Maduro's offer on Friday?
No thanks. We'll take all of it.
Here's Trump.
He has offered everything. He's offered everything. You're right. You know why? Because he doesn't want to fuck around with the United States. Thank you, everybody.
Honestly, that's a pretty good closing line. You know what? Because he doesn't want to fuck with the United States. Good night, everybody. That's pretty good. Now, we got the drama in Venezuela, but that's not the only country that America was getting pushy with this week. Question, who was the other country that America was kind of bumping shoulders with?
That bitch Canada.
I love how confidently wrong you are. China, right? I mean, it's answer is Russia.
Hey, you should have known that one, I gotta say.
Nixon said, quote, if there's no path to peace in the short term, then the United States, along with our allies, will take the steps necessary to impose costs on Russia for its continued aggression.
They're not, though. They're not. Because then he got on the phone with Putin and he said, hey, is it okay if I give tomahawks to Ukraine? And Putin said no. And he's like, all right.
Why did they say anything then? Like, what's the point? What's the point of Pete saying that?
It's to bring him to the table so that he can get that fucking Nobel Peace Prize.
He missed the deadline.
On Friday, Trump met with Ukrainian President Zelensky in Washington, and when asked whether Ukraine or Russia was doing better at negotiating a ceasefire, Trump said, quote, I think they're both doing a great job. Are they both doing a great job?
What, at shooting at each other? Fantastic. Do you remember the first time that Trump got mad at Putin this time? And he put out that Truth Social post where he's like, Vladimir, stop.
Go back to your shitty little hole. Stop that!
Either way, the White House is determined to control the narrative, and that's maybe with good reason. What have the Pentagon insiders said about Pete Hegseth's?
That he got bigger than he used to be.
I heard that stress. He's anxious. He's thinks he's gonna get fired.
What are your sources saying? I'll tell you what my sources are saying.
What are your sources saying, Michael?
They're saying he sucks.
That is in fact what my sources are saying.
In a Daily Mail article earlier this fall, Pentagon workers described Pete by saying, quote, he was crawling out of his skin, which is perfectly normal for lizard people. They moan. It's not a big deal. Michael, Julia, watch the clip. Tell me, what is the story?
Argentina.
Oh, that's Argentina. Oh, and that's the guy he's in charge of it, and then he's much shorter than I thought he would be, but he's got a terrible haircut. Oh, I understand. The United States of America gave Argentina $20 billion, and then Argentina, in exchange, is selling soybeans to China.
Perfect score. It's Trump's Argentinian bailout, who it helps, who it hurts, and why it's happening at all. Well, we could probably use the money a little bit more here at home. Is that a good thing?
Trump's obviously getting something out of it, and it's not the first time Argentina's helped out a Nazi.
Well, one reason why sending $20 billion to Argentina is a bad idea is because the money is going to this guy.
Listen, if you don't let your children pursue the arts, this is what happens. They're going to do it at some point. It's either before the dictator after.
That is Argentinian President Javier Milei. Look at the president.
Dollar store Wolverine right there. He looks like a British variety show host with allegations pending.
The Trump administration is moving forward with the bailout for Dollar Store Wolverine's country of Argentina, providing a $20 billion lifeline that will come in the form of a currency swap with the nation's central bank, which they need because Milei implemented what is called fiscal shock therapy. He's slashing energy and transportation subsidies, laying off government workers, freezing public infrastructure projects, and as a result, the Argentinian economy is slowing down.
Is he also the president of this country? Well, that's exactly what's happening here.
Trump is kind of running the same playbook here.
President Trump's energy department is canceling $7.5 billion in clean energy projects.
The White House fired an estimated 4,000 federal workers.
Last week, he announced that he was freezing $18 billion for critical infrastructure.
Yeah. Just so we understand, we're fine sending $20 billion to Argentina, but this summer Congress clawed back $1.1 billion that had been allocated to public broadcasting. So yes.
Hey, shut up. Listen to me. The fewer people who are watching public broadcasting, the more people who are watching this show, and I need the job.
I just think it's wild. We don't have money for Sesame Street, but we have money for a man who looks like Ernie's pervert uncle.
They're both making the same smile.
So Argentina wins. Question on, who loses?
We sell our soybeans to China. But China said, we don't want your soybeans anymore because you keep putting tariffs on it. So instead, we're going to go to Argentina and buy their soybeans, which are being grown with our dollars.
I hate it.
Yeah.
If Argentina's winning, American farmers are losing, and here's how they're losing.
For the first time on record, Chinese buyers ordered 0 soybeans from U.S. farmers as the fall harvest began. China typically purchases more than half of America's crop. While tariffs shut down exports, the U.S. Treasury helped bail out Argentina.
So Argentina's economy was busted before Milei, and then people elected Milei because he's like, I'm an anarchic capitalist, I'm going to fix the economy. With all these crazy things, I'm going to do like shock therapy. And then he gets elected, he's like,
Yeah, you do shock therapy, and then you look at the electric bill, you go, oh, fuck. I need $20 billion right now.
Argentina has defaulted on its debt 9 times since they became a country in 1816 and 3 times since 2000, most notably in 2001 when they defaulted on a $132 billion worth of foreign debt.
Well, no wonder Trump likes him. He's seen himself in them.
But for Trump, taxpayer money isn't just a reward for his friends, it's also a weapon against his enemies, including mass transit projects in Chicago and hydrogen energy projects in Washington State and California. What city is Trump targeting more than any other city?
New York. Yeah,
it's New York City. Trump has stopped the delivery of about $18 billion in pledged investments for 2 major projects, 2nd Avenue Subway and the Hudson River Tunnel. Who does Trump say is to blame if New York City funding gets cut?
So rough.
Point. Right. Trump is blaming New York City mayoral candidate Zoran Mamdani. There he is.
I'm on the clock. What you want? Some wheels?
Yeah, Trump has been lobbing threats at New York City for a while. He says New Yorkers need to elect someone else when the city gets it.
He's a communist. He's down and dirty. He's a communist. And I'm very generous. And I was always very
I'll
generous.
bring it to you.
But I wouldn't be generous to a communist.
it's not his personal fucking money.
It's Argentina's.
I do have an unrelated detour, Gianmarco.
Yeah.
At the Mamdani rallies, what kind of food they be serving?
I will say this, it wasn't the most exciting food, but there was enough for everybody.
We'll be right back.
Has your card ever been declined at the worst possible moment? You ever woke up with a surprise fees taking your hard-earned money from your bank account? If you've been a victim to traditional banks that don't have your back, you may be entitled to compensation with a whopping price of $0 in monthly fees. Chime will spot up to $200 between each paycheck. You won't get declined if you stay in your spot, and you won't pay any overdraft fees. And there's no toll-free number to call. Sign up with your phone right now, and it only takes 2 minutes to apply. Don't wait. Act now on this not-so-limited offer.
Dying like the beast. Get 25% off.
News for you, I'm Roy Wood Jr. in the news this week. Troops invade blue cities. Residents ask tough questions.
What's your Bible name? What's your Bible name? What's your Bible name?
Turning Point USA announces alternate halftime show.
Say something like
We call him Big Buck. On Amber Scene tonight, she's a tech journalist, author, and podcast host who regularly talks to the titans of Silicon Valley. I'll ask her if she can put in a good word for me with one of them ketamine dudes. It's Karen Switzer. And joining Michael, she's a comedian and actress who you know from Amazon sitcom Upload and her podcast, Unreasonable. I know her as my favorite celebrity whose name starts with a Z. Sorry, Zendaya and Zoe Saldana. It's Zainab Johnson. Now for the biggest stories of the week. Michael and Zainab, watch the clip. Tell me what's the story.
Oh, that's that lady that everybody hates. Dear Diary, I'm going to yell at the senators. No, you're not. So this week, Pam Bondi, who is our Attorney General of the United States, appeared before the Senate. And rather than answer questions, she just yelled at senators all day.
On Tuesday, Attorney General Pam Bondi testified before the Senate Judiciary Committee. It did not go well. How many illegal immigrants does Pam Bondi say are in Chicago?
1 trillion.
1 trillion and one.
Here she is.
How many illegal immigrants are in Chicago? Does anybody know?
I do. Countless. You said countless. But if it's countless, what the fuck are you looking for? What are you doing?
Can we just acknowledge that 1 trillion and one was the closest to countless?
This week, Pam Bondi was went before the Senate committee, and girl lost too close to the sun. Because the Democrats insisted on asking Pam about her pesky little problem of White House border czar Tom Homan and the alleged $50,000 bribe. Here's Senator Pete Welch asking what sounds like a question nobody could deny.
Is there a tape in that has audio and video to transfer the 50,000?
You would have to talk to Director Patel about that.
No, I'm talking to you.
I don't know the answer, Senator.
Yet you do know the answer.
Don't call me a liar.
I didn't call you a liar.
You just said I know the answer. I said I don't know the answer.
Well,
you have to talk to Director Patel.
I'm happy to call her a liar. She's lying. She's a liar.
You asked a question about something illegal. She said, don't talk to me. Ask Cash Patel, who works for the FBI. The FBI works for the Department of Justice. That means he answers to somebody. Who does Cash Patel answer to? What McDonald's and Nova Britness is doing? No. Questions came to a head. Madam Schiff attempted to just straight out ask whether he took the money.
In case I just didn't hear you, what is the answer? Did he take the money?
Senator Schiff, that happened prior to my confirmation.
You understand, but do you know
I said that.
the American people should be able to see that video of your tape? Will you?
Will you apologize to Donald Trump?
I guess the answer is come home and took that money. Now, of all the clips that we've shown you so far of Pam Bundy, have y'all noticed?
You'd be shuffling papers like 3-5 months. Yeah.
Do you look more or less prepared when you shuffle through papers before answering the question?
I like it. Every time she shuffled the papers, I was like, I would
Pam Bundy was shuffling and shuffling. Please just watch. That's how I be a Cheesecake Factory. I just be turning pages and turning pages. You are preparing to go before Congress. Yes, I will tell you the truth. What would you put in your photo?
You know, I did, so it's probably going to be like a bunch of hearts, you know, flowers, and then probably stuff I don't want to forget, like groceries that I have to pick up after I finish with the hearing.
Well, thankfully for all of us, there was a Reuters photographer with a camera with a pretty good lens, Jonathan Ernst, got a picture of the notes, and they were basically just cheat sheets listing mean things to say to the senators. David, hold on, what's your name? Let me get to your shit, man. I want you to watch this. Watch carefully. This is Senator Whitehouse asking an important question about the president and his involvement with some young women.
There's been public reporting that Jeffrey Epstein showed people photos of President Trump with half-naked young women. Have you seen any such thing?
Senator Whitehouse, you sit here and make salacious remarks, once again trying to slander President Trump left and right, when you're the one who was taking money from one of Epstein's closest confidants. I could be wrong, correct?
If you have the files, the binder, filled with information, you should know whether or not you took money from Epstein's biggest supporter, right? Because White House then came out and said, yeah, that's not true
At all. I know the opposite is not true.
Yeah. Senator, I don't know, but your mama's so ugly.
Let's look at the Sheldon Whitehouse page of Pam Burn book. It says, if he brings up Epstein, she should ask, quote, did you take money from Reid Hoffman?
Wow, Nadine. That's like a big soda. Yeah.
Now, she just said, look for the Burn book. Don't worry. There's a beginning.
How many of those Treasury stars did you or Director Patel investigate?
Senator, I'm not sure if you're concerned because you took money, I believe, did you, from Reid Hoffman?
Am I the only one here who does not have a clue who Reid Hoffman is?
He's very well-known venture capitalist as investor here in Silicon Valley. He's a big Democratic donor.
What's he?
No.
But he just sued?
Madam Epstein was around a lot among technology people. Lots of, I mean, I saw him party.
You're on the list.
I know.
Now, believe it or not, she had more in the book than just the name Reid Hoffman. Maybe you also heard this non sequitur in the year.
You know, you're very concerned about money and people taking money and you rail against dark money.
Wait a second.
You work with dark money groups all the time, Senator Whitehouse.
She talked a lot about dark money in that clip, and senators taking dark money. What do you think was written in the book?
Dollars equals dark.
Well, you rail against dark money, but you work with dark money groups.
She's not good off the dome. Like, if she was an 8
Come here.
In that scene with Eminem where people just had...
Oh, and Papa Doc?
Yeah, she would have lost. She would have got that.
Everybody in the 313, put your hands up and follow me. Now, what else did Pam Bundy's Justice Department...
Come here, Joshua. I told you to stop that yelling shit.
They went into one of those fun house mazes and they couldn't get out.
On Thursday, a court indicted New York Attorney General Letitia James on 2 charges: bank fraud and false statements to a financial institution for a mortgage she took to help her niece buy a home. And in the grand tradition of people indicted by Donald Trump on potentially made-up charges, James made a video.
He's forcing federal law enforcement agencies to do his bidding. All because I did my job as a New York State attorney